2 of For Film's Sake. I'm Chris Lucky here with...
I'm Brian Archia.
All right. I'm glad to be back for our second week and a lot of catching up to do. So far, last week I brought up the O.J. Simpson, or the People versus O.J. last week.
Shit, that's right. How'd that go?
It was amazing. It's
Really?
on FX. It's Cuba Gooding Jr. did one of the best acting jobs I've seen him do since A Few Good Men.
Isn't that the same guy, Cuba Gooding Jr.? Where do I know him from?
Snow Dogs, Radio,
Shit.
A Few Good Men. Shoot, I couldn't think. Yeah,
he's one of those guys that you know the name, but you never really put a face to it.
Yeah,
he did a good job in it. Then
he did an amazing job. He kind of fell off the map over the past 5 years or so, but this miniseries is going to put him back on the map.
Huh.
You know, we're only on episode 1 out of 10, but they have amazing people playing it. They have David Schwimmer from Friends. He's playing a Robert Kardashian. You know, that's Kris Jenner's ex-husband, the one he died of.
Yeah,
Kim Kardashian's late father. John Travolta is playing Robert Shapiro.
What the fuck? John Travolta's in this?
John Travolta's in it, and they have him looking just like the Robert Shapiro. And Selma Blair, she's playing Kris Jenner. You know,
okay.
So I mean, I was surprised they let people play Kris Jenner, and the Kardashians are in it. You know, I would think that they would try to.
That was a weird thing because I only found out that the Kardashians were involved in this shit like 2 days ago when I saw a picture on Reddit.
Oh wow!
About the original court case and like the old lady Kardashian, the big mama Kardashian,
Kris Kardashian,
was there, and I was like, "Well, what the fuck is she doing there?"
Yeah, she was married to Robert Kardashian at the time, who was they were divorced by the time the murder happened. But Robert Kardashian and O.J. Simpson were best friends.
Oh, okay.
You know, so that's how they got tangled into that. And then eventually they had Robert Kardashian reinstate his license so he could practice law. But anyway, that's an amazing show on FX. Another thing that I want to bring up that I watched this week, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That show, it fell off for 2 years. The past 2 seasons, it kind of fell off. This season, it's all the way back. All the way back.
It's back to being funny.
They're exploring so many different things this season. And another thing I wanted to point out, like, have you seen the show Workaholics?
No, but I know which one it is.
Yeah, it's a really good show, but they draw off of alcohol, drugs, marijuana, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And you can get a really easy laugh like that, just like you can off a fart joke or a dick joke.
Yeah.
You know? But Always Sunny, they've never explored the idea of drugs whatsoever. You know, so they're just drawing from everything and still bringing the funny. You know, I mean, this season's amazing. A lot of kudos to them for that. And lastly, the thing that I watched was the Iowa caucus. It was Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton.
The caucus thing.
Yeah.
That was really exciting because I didn't watch it, but I heard the news afterwards.
Yeah.
And it was really exciting to see a dude like Bernie Sanders, and I don't want to get too political.
Yeah.
But a dude like Bernie Sanders that's sort of he's doing it. He's like the independent politician.
Yeah, basically.
And like in the way that we're independent filmmakers.
Yeah.
So he's drawn his budget out from like the people that want to support him.
Yeah.
And he's really honest about shit. It was really exciting to see a president or our candidate, that can carry that message and like because a lot of people don't like him because of that.
Of course.
And it's incredible to see that at least he can tie with a huge candidate by being himself, and it gives me some hope that maybe we'll get to see a lot more of that during the race.
Yeah, like I love the idea that he's taking no money from prisons. You know, he's drawing a lot of his money from the crowd. You know, like you said, it's just straight grassroots. So we've seen the Iowa tide. He's going to New Hampshire. I'm gonna be looking forward to that. So that was last week in television from what we've seen. Well, what I seen. What did you see this week? That was good.
That was interesting because I stayed away from television for the most part. I have cable, but I barely watch it.
Yeah.
Because it's like such a chore to like sit down at a specific time and watch it. So I tend to stay away from television. But I did watch a couple of films. I watched Chronicle with Michael B. Jordan. It was directed by the guy that directed Fantastic Four, incidentally, the newest one, which I also watched. I watched Fantastic.
Oh, we're going to get into that.
And that movie was like oddly frustrating to watch. It was really frustrating.
Yeah.
We're going to say the topic for today is superheroes, so we're going to get into a little bit deeper. But I watched Fantastic.
Nice.
And I was angry and disappointed in the same way that when you get home at 3 a.m. high on weed, your dad is on the couch and he just looks at you and just like
disappointment.
that kind of look. It was just a frustrating film to watch.
Yeah.
And then I watched Running on Empty. We watched it twice.
Yep.
which I actually wanted to bring up because I think this is fucking funny.
Nice. All right.
We have a class that we're exploring conceptual storytelling.
Yes.
We're both in the class together. Mm-hmm. And our teacher is this kind of guy, sort of charismatic, and he knows what he's talking about. And he's like, fuck you, that's not what it is. Give me the answer. And he's great. I fucking love him.
He is.
So we're talking about running on empty. And he's trying to get us to sort of get the concept of the movie. And he's trying to teach us like the relationship between protagonist and antagonist. And how conflict can hide in that relationship in filmmaking. And I think he's doing a pretty good job at it. But you, for example, you were a little angry at the movie because you didn't quite grasp what he was trying to say about the movie.
But I have a completely different take on it. I feel like I was watching that movie from a different aspect of it. All right, now, people that don't know about the movie Running on Empty.
Right, we should give a little summary.
Yeah, a little summary. This is one of River Phoenix's, the late River Phoenix's movies.
It was 1988.
Yeah. Who was and Judd Hirsch? He was the other star of the movie. You might know him from Taxi or Dear John. You know,
and he's also recently you may have seen him in Mark Maron's show.
Yeah, he's Mark Maron's dad. On there. Yeah, but he's on there. Now my problem with it is I compare it to you know the guy Julian Assange. He did the WikiLeaks, and now he's in Russia somewhere. You know, because we're looking for him in America. You know? Yeah. Now what he did was I feel like he did the right thing. You know, so he feels like he's in some type of righteous indignation because he felt like he did the right thing, you know, but what he did was still against the law. So he's on the run from the law for the rest of his life until he opens up about the truth. Now, in his scenario, he doesn't have a daughter, a son, or a family that are going to be affected by what he's done. Yeah. You know, in this movie, it's a wife, a husband, and 2 children who are they're taking on the lam with them with complete disrespect to those children's lives. You know, they would rather continue to live this lie and keep their children to themselves selfishly than to turn themselves into the police and tell them what they did and let the kids live. Exactly. And even in the end, they still, when they let go of River Phoenix, they still kept the young child, you know, to continue this terrible life. You know, so like,
No, it's definitely one of those movies because I think, like, as a plot for the movie's definitely trying to get into the sort of like, they're not exploring the consequences of what the parents did, which was blow up like a napalm factory. Yeah. They're not trying to explore the consequences of that. They're trying, I think, to explore the relationship between the dad and the son. And so watching the movie from your angle, which is sort of like, well, these people are assholes. Yeah. Why are they ruining this kid's life? Versus watching it from like, well, they did that, yes, and they thought it was the right thing. So what's going to happen with the son now that he has a girlfriend and he wants to stay behind in his home place and he doesn't want to run with the family anymore? So how does that relationship affect? That's the way I watched the movie. And so I think that made the movie a little bit more concrete to me. Yeah. But I thought it was funny because we walked out of the class and like 7 of us were going like, well, what the fuck is that movie? What? Yeah. And I just want to point that out. It's just one of my favorites. It's a really good movie if you haven't seen it.
No, yeah, it definitely is good. Yeah. It is good. It kind of irked me just a little
I also saw it 2 times because I saw it before the class and after the class. Yep. So that might have felt. But I can see why it would irk someone.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't even go that deep into the character development of River's brother. You know? But even still, I have to feel some type of way about his character who gets no resolution. Like, nothing good happens for that kid. No, you know, nothing good happens for the father or the mother. It's just we're invested in River's character, and then he gets his resolution and conclusion, and we're supposed to be happy with that. But we still have 2 quote-unquote terrible people. Well, you know, so I can't say bad. It's like what they did was righteously good. It's something that I would hope that I had the guts to do something like that myself. Yeah. But in the same sentence, you have children that you're raising, and you don't want to subject them to that type of lifestyle for their life. You know, it's not a choice that they made themselves.
It's definitely one of those movies that makes you think, all right, well, what the fuck is the right thing to do?
Yeah. So I mean, it's a good movie in the fact that it makes you think.
It really is. Does. It really is. Very and the director was Sidney Lumet. Is that his name? I think it's Sidney Lumet. Really good director. I'm gonna go look up his other stuff eventually, like later on in the week, to find them because our teacher told us that no 2 movies he directs are the same. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to finding him. That's pretty much all I saw. I saw Chronicles, Fan Four Stick, and then Running on Empty in the weekend. Yeah. And then I'm looking forward to watching Inside Llewyn Davis.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, which I really am excited about. I've heard really good things. Yeah. And I think I'm gonna watch it before I go watch Hail Caesar. Which comes out this week.
February 5th.
So if you haven't, the movie's gonna be out by the time this releases. But if you haven't seen Hail Caesar, it looks really fucking funny.
It does.
And it looks like one of those traditional Coen Brothers comedy.
Yeah.
That the plot's barely there, but it still manages to be really fucking funny.
Have you seen what's happening with Channing Tatum?
He's been really good.
Yes.
What the fuck is up with Tatum?
I mean, he's
been impressing me.
He's not just like the stripper Magic Mike guy anymore. You know, he's working with credible directors.
Yeah,
you know, with Tarantino and the Coen brothers, like wow.
And not only that, but he's doing very good in those papers, in those roles.
He is. Yeah.
I loved him in The Hateful Eight. It was probably my favorite character in The Hateful Eight.
Mine too.
Apart from Sam.
Sam, which one?
Sam Jackson.
Sammy Jackson. Okay, yeah.
But Channing Tatum's doing really good for himself.
I'm
really excited to see what he's got.
Yeah. They have an amazing cast. Scarlett Johansson's in there. I mean, she's easy to look at.
George Clooney.
George Clooney. This is his fourth film working with the Coen brothers.
Really?
His fourth film. What was it? Intolerable Cruelty was the first one. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou was the second one. And then my favorite Coen brothers movie, Burn After Reading.
Burn After Reading. I haven't seen that one.
That's amazing. Brad Pitt's in that one. Yeah.
I remember that. That's where Brad Pitt gets shot in the face. That's fucking great.
Yeah. So
I've only seen The Big Lebowski from the Coen brothers and Fargo. I've only seen those two.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm missing out on huge cinema.
They're
amazing. I gotta catch up.
Like I said, when I talk about directors that I love, like they're so high on the list that I can't even put them as the group that I aspire to be. It's just outer space so far away that I can't even let me get to step 2 before I look at step 1 million. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, wow, but yeah, they're amazing.
Really looking forward to Hail Caesar. That's coming out this weekend.
Yep.
Looking forward to Deadpool, which we're going to talk about a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
Because the marketing for that movie
Yeah,
has been fucking amazing.
Brilliant marketing.
Love the marketing for that movie. It's been one of my favorite campaigns in recent memory.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm excited for Deadpool. It comes out on the 14th. There was something else that I was excited about, and I don't exactly remember what it was. And I'm probably going to figure it out later, but I don't know what it was. But cinema, I think, 2016, really good pickup for cinema.
Let's hope so.
Because 2015 was really shit until the last months.
Yeah.
And then we're picking up and we're carrying that trend into the beginning of 2016.
I hope that continues.
And I hope that it continues.
Yeah.
I'm really happy.
Yeah.
Another thing that I want to talk about before the last 3 minutes. You know how we're all fucked up by global warming and all that shit?
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio is making a movie that takes place in 2049. I think he's producing it. It takes place in 2049 about the Earth breaking point at the consequence of global warming.
You know global warming isn't real, right?
Fuck out of my house. Start hanging out with B.O.B.
Exactly. Earth is flat. Global warming isn't real. Like, none of that.
But Leo's producing that movie. I don't know what stage of production it's on, but I guess they made an announcement for it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how Leo produces a movie. I don't think... Has he ever produced anything before?
Not that I know of.
No, yeah, so I'm excited to see how he handles that shit.
Yeah.
And then another thing that was kind of interesting that I just lost track of. It was in my head. And I fucking lost it.
We might be able to find it at the end, at the wrap up.
Probably. I hate it when that shit happens, especially when there's a microphone in your face.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning back in. This is episode 2 of For Film's Sake. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back with some superhero talk.
Nice.
Sweet. And we're live.
You know what's cool is we actually have a theme song now.
We do, don't we?
Yeah. So I guess you guys just heard that. Welcome back to For Film's Sake. This is our episode number 2, and we're going to discuss superheroes, superhero movies, television, anything involving superheroes. Now,
which lately is a lot of material.
Lots of material. Now, before we get too far into it, we're gonna go into the Fantastic. You know, I'm a huge, I'm a huge Fantastic Four fan. Like I love them more than the Avengers, more than X-Men. Fantastic Four was my number one thing in life that I had. You know, before X-Men was around.
You grew up with Fantastic Four.
I grew up with, yeah, I did, and I loved it. I mean, it wasn't about the superpowers; it was the family.
Yeah.
You know, and one person in Fantastic Four on their own, they're shit. You know,
that's true.
You know, Wolverine can go off on his own. Captain America can go off on his own. Fantastic Four is a cohesive group, and I really love that aspect about it in family. But before we get into that, my beef with every universe is Aquaman. Now, and that's the response I hear every time I bring up Aquaman.
Wait, no, I want to. You went on from like Fantastic Four was all about family, but first let's talk about Aquaman. Let's fucking.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going with it. Oh, yeah. What about Aquaman? What's up with Aquaman?
Why is he getting? Why the disrespect? I feel like Aquaman does not get his just due, and he never has. All right, now if we look up the stats of Aquaman, should he not be equivalent to someone like, say, a Magneto? Now, if Magneto can manipulate anything that has metal, iron, anything, even if you have iron in your body, he can draw that out of you. You know, he can manipulate iron anywhere in the universe. Yeah. Now, Aquaman, he's not limited to manipulating the water in the ocean. He manipulates the water. We're made of water.
He doesn't manipulate water, right?
How does he not?
No, he only talks to the things that are in the water.
No, he talks to the water. I mean, he can manipulate the fishes and things like that. But he still manipulates water. He moves water.
Does he?
He moves water.
I never knew that about him.
What the fuck?
For me, he was just the guy that talked to the bloody fish.
Well, okay, I can see why people would underestimate Aquaman if he's just like the fish whisperer, you know, or something. No, but I mean, if he's supposed to have the power to manipulate water.
See, I think that most people don't know that.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Aquaman gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
Because for us, he's just a fish whisperer. He just tells a giant turtle to go do something. Yeah. And then he just sits there with like a pina colada.
Yeah, I mean, he's essentially... Did you see a cartoon from the 90s called Captain Planet?
Yeah.
There was one
of
the
characters. I love Captain Planet.
It was amazing. The one character, he had heart. You know, he had a ring in his heart. So all they could do was just manipulate animals to do whatever he wanted to do. So Aquaman is no better than the dude from Captain America if that's his only power.
Yeah, Captain Planet.
Yeah.
Captain... fuck me. Aquaman is sort of that outcast of like the Justice League. Yeah. Which is like, okay, we know that you're here, but why?
Yeah. So that's...
Plus, he's never had really good adaptations.
No,
the best adaptation of Aquaman that I've seen was in the video game God Injustice. Or Injustice, God Among Us. Yeah. That was the best Aquaman that I've seen. But other than that, Aquaman's just kind of like Aquaman.
The best Aquaman I've seen was when Vinny Chase played Aquaman in the show Entourage. That's the best Aquaman that I've seen. The movie was directed and produced by James Cameron in a fictional television show, and that's the best Aquaman that we've had.
I feel your gripe with Aquaman. I don't think we're going to get an Aquaman movie soon.
I mean, I'm just hoping.
I don't think
All right, so that was my underdog that I wanted to slip in. Now, I want to go look at the person who is getting all the attention, and I don't understand why. Because when I was growing up, nobody cared about this guy. I still don't really care about this guy. But now you see it everywhere. I assume you know who I'm talking about is fucking Captain America. Now, since when...
All right, first of all, before you go talking, I absolutely understand your point. I'm tired of fucking Steve Rogers.
Yes!
Captain America bullshit. It's like Tony Stark is it's an infinitely more interesting character than Captain America.
Yes, he is. Yes, like
go on.
Can I not be Captain America? Like, all I need is the juice? I mean, if you hook me up with a serum and my body does not reject it, now that's the one thing that I've heard from people. It's like, you can't be Captain America because your body wouldn't accept the serum. You know, so is that what makes him a superhero? His ability to accept the serum to become Captain America?
Well, that's just fucking genetics, isn't it?
Exactly. You know, what is super about that? Well, what we call a mutant, that's part of the genetics too, though, I will believe.
Yeah.
You know, but basically what I'm saying is Captain America, you shoot him up with some juice and you put a suit on him, and now he's regarded as like the most elite hero out here.
I fucking hate it.
Really? Like, I don't get it. Like, I was never a fan.
I like the concept of Captain America.
I mean, he's all right, but he's not the best superhero in the universe.
Not at all.
I don't need to see 10 Captain America shirts every time I walk out the street. You know, it's everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, he's now like the leader of the event. The Civil War movie is just basically Iron Man and Captain America now.
Yeah.
You know?
At this point, it's just that.
Yeah.
It's Iron Man getting sassy with Captain America. Because Captain America can't get over a boy crush from the fucking 40s. That's what that movie is.
Yeah, you know.
And okay, here's my thing about Cap, right? What the fuck is his name? Chris Evans?
Oh, Chris Evans, yeah.
Chris Evans. Chris Evans did an amazing Captain America. The first movie was shit. I didn't like Captain America, the first one.
You didn't like the first Captain America?
No,
I like the first Captain America better than the second one. That's Winter Soldier?
Yeah, Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's the reason why I didn't like Captain America Is it just Captain America? The first
The first
Avenger.
one was just
The first Avenger. Here's why I don't like that one. For half the movie, Steve Rogers, or Captain America, was a fucking showgirl.
Yeah.
They just paraded him around in armies, and he did nothing for half the movie.
Yeah.
And then suddenly he's like, "Oh, I gotta go save the world! Yay, I'm Captain America!" And I was like, "Okay, I get what they were trying to do. It had a nice build up,
Yeah.
but it didn't work for me. There was not enough payoff for like the amount of build up that I was given.
No.
And I didn't enjoy that one. But then I was like, okay, it's first Captain America. Marvel's kind of getting their handle on their superhero thing.
Yeah.
I watched the second one. I really liked it. The action was well done. The plot was but we had an interesting character that served sort of like an antagonist for Captain America. And I like that a lot. I like Captain America too. And then the Avengers came out. I watched a couple of Thor movies, and I saw sort of Marvel going from like, we don't really know how to make a superhero movie to like, we got the shit out of superhero movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for me, that happened right around Thor and Iron Man.
Like,
was the third one
3?
the bad one, or the second one?
They say the
one?
second one was the bad one.
I think the second one was the really bad one.
Yeah.
The one with Whiplash. It's
Yeah,
the second one.
that's the second one.
Up until Iron Man 2.
That's the one where they replaced Terrence Howard and put Don Cheadle in as another black person that we didn't recognize.
You know what that happened, right? Terrence Howard
He won
demanded
the
a huge paycheck, and Don Cheadle was in the room, and I was like, I'll do it.
Yeah, yeah. Damn right I will.
But, okay, so it was Iron Man, Captain America 2,
Yeah.
and then Iron Man 2? No, Captain America, Iron Man 2. Some
I
weird
can't remember
order.
the chronology,
Some weird order.
yeah.
Thor was somewhere in there,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But I saw them going from Iron Man, which is a really good movie,
Oh, yeah.
to like Iron Man 2, which wasn't that good.
Yeah.
And then like revive it back with Iron Man 3 and like a second, and like a good Thor movie and like a good Captain America movie. And then all of that led up to the Avengers, which was really good.
That first one, yeah, amazing.
But I never understood why Captain America was at the forefront of all of it.
I mean, you might as well put like Dudley Do-Right in the suit. You know, it's like, I mean, that's what I see when I see Captain America. Like, I wouldn't want to go hang out with Captain America. I don't want to have a beer with Captain America. I don't want to invite him in my house and watch the football game with Captain America. Like, he just seems like he's going to go to, hey, I think you should slow down on that drinking. That's your second beer. Maybe you should go ahead and hang. I'm like, what? You know, he just doesn't seem like an interesting person, even outside of all the superhero powers.
Yeah, he's not. I like the way they portray him, but I don't think he's an inherently interesting character.
No.
So I'm not a huge fan of Cap either. But that being said, Avengers did a good job of putting all of those previous movies together.
Yes.
And I think that here's the thing about Marvel. I think that they were smart because they made a lot of movies that led up to one movie.
Yeah.
And then now we have one movie that serves as a setup for the other movies that are coming out, and that movie is Avengers: Age of Ultron, which I did not like.
It wasn't a bad movie, but in comparison, like the first Avengers movie was so good.
It was
like
amazing.
it set the bar.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, anything coming after that wasn't going to be as good. You know, Age of Ultron, it fell short. What did it get? Like an 87% on Rotten Tomatoes, I believe. So that's still very good, but in comparison to what we had before,
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like it's just like having a really good pizza. You're never gonna get the same pizza ever again.
no, no,
No matter how much you try.
no.
That analogy doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it makes sense.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just feel like Captain America and Marvel Universe is now being victim of trying to make too many superhero movies,
no, yeah,
and they're getting fucked
Yeah.
by DC now.
yeah.
That is sort of selective about their superhero movies.
They definitely are. They're doing a good job by it too.
And whenever they make a superhero movie, usually it's really good.
It is.
What was the last one?
The last superhero movie from DC.
I think it was Man of Steel, wasn't it?
That may have been.
That may have been.
Yeah.
Man of Steel, for me, it was an okay movie.
I liked
It was too loud, but it was a good movie.
Yeah, it was really. I liked it.
Yeah. So I think that DC is sort of, which is one of our things, Marvel versus DC. I think Marvel has sort of oversaturated themselves with superheroes, while DC has sort of kept it sort of like, well, maybe we just make 5 movies a year, or maybe we just make 2 movies a year, and we just let them deal with the rest, and we'll get Suicide Squad and Batman versus Superman, and we'll just get fan service.
Yeah. Now, in the same vein, I'm gonna leave this Captain America thing. You know, I'm gonna leave the Captain America thing. But what I really did love, the actor we brought up, Chris Evans. Chris Evans played Captain America, and before that, he played my favorite character in Johnny the Human Torch.
Yeah,
you know,
he did.
so jealous of that one actor getting to play, you know, both of those characters. But the Fantastic Four movie before the reboot, you know, he played the in Fantastic Four. What is it? 2005.
I think so.
Yeah.
With Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba and other characters that I can't remember.
Ben, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
He was a good actor. I just don't remember his name.
Yeah.
I really actually like that movie.
The first one wasn't terrible.
Yeah,
you know,
it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
But okay, let's go back to Fan Four Stick for a quick second.
Yep.
Let's hold it back. We went on a rant about Marvel vs. DC. Fan Four Stick, I think here's why it didn't work.
Okay.
It tried to be really gritty
Right.
and really sort of serious and grotesque, and you can see that by the first half of the movie.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell in the first half that who's the fuck directed it? Josh Tank.
I can't remember his name. I don't think he has a career any longer, though.
I think it was John Tank or Josh Tank or something like that. He directed Chronicle as well.
Yeah.
That guy, you can tell he was going for like a darker interpretation of Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And it was working.
The first
It
half?
was working so fine. But then Disney got scared and thought it would be hard to market. Is it Disney?
I'm not
Fox,
sure.
it's Fox.
Oh, yeah,
Fox.
yeah, 100% it is Fox, yep.
Fox got scared about how hard it would be to market.
Yeah.
And because of that, they fucked up the movie because they changed the script so much that I think that whatever Josh had planned or John had planned went out the drain, and they had to call everybody for reshoots, and it was a rushed ending, and it sucked. So like after the movie says the 1 year mark, like 1 year later, it's such crap. It's so frustrating to watch.
It is. I mean, and Fox. I'm gonna put the blame a lot on Fox. You know, if you're gonna put your trust into a director and believe in his vision, don't cut him off at the end when it's time to present it to the audience. You know, like understandably, Fox thought they were gonna be selling a family movie to families, you know, to go watch. And then when they seen the product, it wasn't that. You know, it was. The demographic they were going for was the 15 to 30 something that loves, you know, the previous any Marvel movie that they seen, you know.
Yeah. But even in the trailers, you can tell that they went a different direction. Because the first trailer was really good. And like the color correction, it was like this sort of green hue in the whole movie. And it looked pretty and interesting.
It did.
And then the trailer just became blue and bland but towards the end.
Yeah.
So that was my gripe with Fantastic Four in general, is that we took 4 superheroes who are supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
The Fantastic Four aren't gritty, bad, or like morally ambiguous superheroes. They're supposed to be fun for the like, just fun and quirky. Yeah. That's what Fantastic Four says to me. Yeah. And they try to make them gritty and dark for a crowd that doesn't see the benefit of gritty and dark.
Yeah.
And so that movie just fell flat.
Yeah.
For that because of me. And it was really frustrating because I wanted it to work.
Yeah.
I wanted it to work so fucking badly.
3 fuck ups on Fan Four Stick.
Yep. I'm gonna give him. We're not gonna get one property for a long time, but I'm gonna give him one more movie before I give up with the franchise.
Oh, I'm gonna watch every single one.
Yeah.
I mean, you can put out crap sandwiches here for the next 20 years, and I'll watch every single one. But you got to give me a good one. Just keep shooting till you hit. Please.
Yeah. It's one of those franchises.
Yeah.
So we already hit Marvel versus DC, and Marvel's doing a really good thing with their cinematic universe.
Yeah.
They're doing some television shows.
Oh yeah.
Which, the ones outside of Netflix, I don't know enough about, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever the fuck.
I haven't been paying attention to Agents of
S.H.I.E.L.D. The other lady, what was the female, the badass lady spy show? Is that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. too?
Nah, I haven't been paying attention to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at all.
So they have those 2 network television shows, but then they've released the Netflix ones, which is Daredevil and Jessica Jones.
Yes, and coming soon. Are they going to call it Power Man or is it going to be Luke Cage?
I think it's going to be Luke Cage.
Okay, well yeah, that's another extension of Marvel. That's going to be great.
So Marvel, I feel like they realize that movies aren't for them anymore in terms of like huge profit making or huge not profit because the movies definitely made more profit, but huge fan base things. Yeah. I feel like they're gonna move more into Netflix and all that stuff.
Depending upon the superhero, because I don't think you could sell Jessica Jones to a broad audience who doesn't know who that is, or Luke Cage. I don't think 90% of, you know, I mean, there's a niche group who knows who Luke Cage is. The people that really care about Marvel and comics, they know who that is, but my mother doesn't. You know, my mother knows who Wolverine is, you know, but she has no idea who Luke Cage or Jessica Jones. Daredevil, you know, they tried that in the theaters, but there's just not a broad enough audience, you know, to
sell tickets. It's also hard because these characters are so complex.
Yeah.
that it's so difficult to capture them in an hour
Mm-hmm.
and 30 minutes. If you make the movie 2.5 hours, even then it's difficult
Yeah.
to like capture a character as complex as Daredevil or Jessica in the big screen. So I think that Marvel has done a really smart thing where they've kept their mainstream superheroes on the big screen with your Captain America and your Iron Man,
Yeah.
and all those other guys,
Mm-hmm.
and they've sort of let the underdogs
Yeah.
have their own field to play with in Netflix.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for it because Daredevil was my favorite show on Netflix until Jessica Jones came out.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jessica Jones was like, holy shit, this is really good. And I was really invested in Jessica Jones. What did you think about it?
After we talked a little bit about it on episode 1, I went back and talked to my girlfriend, and you changed my opinion about Jessica Jones.
How's that?
Before, I rated Daredevil a little higher than Jessica Jones,
Mm-hmm.
and my girlfriend's like, "You're crazy! Like Jessica Jones is way better,
It
you
is.
know." And now I'm looking at it from your perspective. What you were saying is, in Daredevil, you essentially have 3 characters who have any kind of character depth to them.
Yeah.
You know, in Jessica Jones, there are 5+ characters who have depth and you are invested in.
Yeah.
You know, any character that's going to be on the screen for any significant amount of time, they're giving that character depth for you to care about them or understand their situation outside of just being seen right there at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, so with that, I mean, Jessica Jones, and like you said, it was written by a woman, I believe.
It was Melissa Rosenberg, I think.
Melissa Rosenberg. I mean, it is an amazing job as far as writing. I mean, I
Yeah,
love
and
the show.
she's a great showrunner.
Yeah.
But the greatest thing I like about that show, apart from the character, is that everything felt real. Everything was really
Oh, yeah.
grounded. Because it wasn't, for me, Captain America and Avengers and whatever feels like superheroes.
Movie, yeah.
They're superheroes, and that will never happen.
Yeah.
There's no way any of that shit will happen.
Yeah.
But Jessica Jones, I felt like if I was walking down the streets in New York and I saw like a British dude telling people to like throw coffee in their faces, I would be like, ah, shit, that's happening. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
So Jessica Jones felt so much more grounded in reality because the characters felt like they were doing things outside of the screen, and Kilgrave was one of the most amazing villains that I've seen. So Marvel has gotten their shit right in terms of how to portray superheroes.
Definitely.
I think what they're now being in trouble of is having too many superheroes.
I mean, can you have too many superheroes?
you
Like,
can.
no. I mean, I know that you can, but when the market dictates how many superheroes you can have, and
Yeah.
every time that you put one out, if you're drawing audiences, then they're going to create more superheroes, you know, to bring
Yeah.
in, just because people are going to go watch it no matter what. You can have the Civil War movie. You don't even need Reed Richards or the Fantastic Four, who was an essential part to that Civil War story, and you can put the movie out, and it's still going to gross millions of dollars because they're going to watch it. You know, so I agree we have too many superheroes, but the market dictates that we do
I just
not.
don't. I just don't care about Marvel superheroes anymore. I just don't care.
For the most part, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Tony Stark and Captain America can duke it out, and I'd be like, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I'm not invested in them because I know they can kill Iron Man. I know they can kill Captain America. They can kill Black Widow. They can't kill any of those guys. So I know there's no risk in their storylines because they're all going to come out on top.
Yeah.
But when you're giving me shows like Daredevil or Jessica Jones, any one of those fuckers can bite it.
And another great thing that I like about that show, they're not forcing the superhero aspect of the characters.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, I mean, in any of them, Luke Cage, I mean, he has a superpower, but it's not based around that. Jessica Jones, how often did she even use any of her power?
She
in that
uses
show?
them maybe 20 times towards the end.
Yeah, towards the end.
Yeah.
You know, like the first 4 or 5 episodes, I think she just leaps a good distance one time, you know. And she beats a couple of people's ass, you know, in school, you know. But it's not featured around that, and I think that's really cool. In Daredevil, it's featured around the lawyer and the crime aspect of it, you know. So I mean, it's all 3. Well, when Luke Cage comes out, all 3 of those shows I'm sure are going to be amazing next season.
And compared to versus DC, which is sort of selective and dark and dialogue-based superhero movies, I think they're a little bit more centric in the characters. I really like DC movies. They're actually really good. Except for the Dark Knight, not the last one, the Dark Knight Rises.
The last one, the one with Bane?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't fancy that too much. But I can see why that movie got fucked. Heath Ledger died. It fucked up their plans. I can see it.
Yeah.
But DC is, for me, I'm more hopeful in DC now than I am in Marvel.
Yeah.
Because DC doesn't have the oversaturation that Marvel does.
They do not.
So they're taking their time with their movies. But is Deadpool Marvel? Yeah, Deadpool's
Deadpool's Marvel.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Deadpool. I love Deadpool.
What's the guy that's playing? Is it Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. There we go. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. He did Green Lantern too, didn't he?
He did Green Lantern.
Yeah.
They make fun of it a lot in this marketing campaign.
Obviously, it was like, where's he? Yeah, he's out. Where's Green Lantern? He's out pretending to be Deadpool. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Like we were saying in the opening, the marketing for this is amazing.
So good.
Like they're going the full social media route, and they're going after their target audience, and it's working.
It totally is.
Yeah.
And like, not only are they like going the social media route, but like even their billboards are funny.
It is.
Like they have a skull and then like a poop and then an L.
Yeah.
It's Deadpool.
Yeah.
And it took me a second to get it. I saw it and I was like, what the fuck is that? And I was like, oh, that's Deadpool.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The marketing campaign for Deadpool has been amazing.
Yeah.
And I am so excited to go see that movie.
Oh yeah.
And Ryan Reynolds has done a fantastic job at being Deadpool.
I mean, this guy works. This guy works hard. I mean, I was questionable about him up until about 6 or 7 years ago. You know, I thought he was just going to be a comedic actor. And in a sense, he somewhat is. You know, but he puts 110% into his craft. There was a film about 3 or 4 years ago to where he had to be buried alive inside of a casket.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Buried Alive.
Buried alive, there we go, yeah. Aptly not titled. Yeah, he had to do that. So, I mean, he actually had to, you know, do a lot of that work, actually be in the ground, covered up for a good amount of time. He's had a number of roles to where he had to completely transform his body, you know. And for some reason, the Oscars do give a lot of credit to when you actually have to transform your body or become a different person, you know. But it takes work to sit there and only eat chicken breasts and rice and broccoli for 6 months straight so you can look good for a film.
Yeah,
you know, so I mean,
that's
he's invested in his craft. So I think he's gonna pull off this Deadpool pretty well.
And not only, like, even his appearances, like, you can tell. It's kind of like Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man. Like,
Fuck is that?
even in media appearances, Ryan Reynolds feels like Deadpool. He's sort of smart, witty, funny.
Yeah.
And the videos that have come out, the trailers have been really funny.
Yeah.
They've stuck to their guns about saying this isn't going to be a PG-13 movie. It's going to be R-rated.
Yep.
So if you're an angry mom that's petitioning for this movie to be PG-13, fuck you.
Yeah,
It's not happening.
It's not going to happen.
It's not happening.
And rightfully so.
And I'm really excited about Deadpool. I think it's one of the most interesting, one of the most funny superheroes ever.
Yeah, I mean they went that way with Ant-Man. They took the comical approach, but I'm thinking Deadpool is gonna go even further.
Yeah. It's also the value of the comedy. I think is a lot different.
Yeah.
What else?
Suicide Squad is coming out shortly after that, I believe.
That's right.
Yeah.
We have is it March something?
Sometime in March. Yeah, next month.
I'm excited about Suicide Squad as well.
Oh yeah.
Okay, here's why I'm excited about Suicide Squad. First of all, it's only bad guys, pretty much.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I found out about the Suicide Squad comic storyline like a year ago.
Okay.
And I know nothing about it.
You know, you've known it longer than I have.
Yeah.
Like I picked it up 6 months ago or so.
Yeah, something like that. It's kind of like an unknown storyline, and I think that's why DC's getting more success because they kind of pick this like weird sideline stories.
Yeah.
And I think that's refreshing. But I'm excited for three people in this movie. Will Smith as Deadshot.
Yes.
Margot Robbie. Is that her name?
That's playing Harley Quinn?
Yeah.
Oh,
Margot. I think that's her name. Yeah. She's playing Harley Quinn. She's beautiful. And she looks like she's going to rock the shit out of Harley Quinn.
There's been some backlash about her character from women saying that she's been overly sexualized.
But that's fucking Harley Quinn, though.
It is.
That's all Harley Quinn. Harley
is.
Quinn is an over-sexualized crazy person. She was... Okay, Harley Quinn, she was a normal person. And the Joker drove her insane.
Yep.
She's insane.
Yes.
She's going to be, like, hypersexualized. She's going to be neurotic. She's going to be psychotic. She's going to be all of those things that people have stereotypes about women being. Because she's insane.
Yes. She has been driven by the Joker to what she is. So I mean, if you don't understand the Joker's character... Speaking of, do you have a particular Joker that you favor?
Right now, it's Heath Ledger's.
All right.
Heath Ledger's Joker.
He did amazing.
Yeah, that's your foot.
Yeah, Heath Ledger did an amazing job. I think it's just the nostalgia is why I'm keeping Jack in the
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. I mean, and
He's the creepiest one, that's for sure.
And it's a different take. I mean, they may be equal, but the Jack's version was a little more comical, and I felt that was the essence of Joker. But then when I seen Heath's version, and I was like, wow, this is still keeping the comical version of it, but a lot darker. Yeah. And I can't say that that's not the true essence of it as well. You know,
I think something interesting happened with the Joker, and it's like a James Bond kind of thing, where like every actor takes his own approach on the Joker, and like I feel like the Jack Nicholson was kind of like when everything was like funny and quirky, and we had Batman versus Robin kind of Batman movies, and I think that's a product of that, and then Heath Ledger is a product of wanting to have a little bit more realism with their superhero movies.
Yeah.
And then Jared Leto's Joker, which I'm super excited about, is kind of the same as Heath Ledger's Joker. Just what would happen if it was more crazy?
Yeah. And this one right here, there's a bar set. You know, when Jack did his, there was a good, 10 to 13 years before we had Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah.
You know, so we're not looking at it through a microscope, and it's so close. With this right here, the Heath Ledger played Batman, 5 years ago? The time gap was so short that everyone remembers Heath Ledger as Joker. So when you go see this Suicide Squad, you're immediately thinking Heath Ledger.
He's going to be compared to Heath Ledger, inevitably.
He is. What I want to see is how long into the movie will he make me forget about Heath Ledger's Joker and remember him as his own standalone version of Joker.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what Jared Leto does. Jared Leto is one of those actors that gets really into his craft.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm super excited for him to be in the movie. Suicide Squad, looking forward to it. Batman vs. Superman, looking super forward to it. Mostly because I want to see how they handle a really big action movie.
Yeah.
Because they have huge set pieces, but nothing like Batman vs. Superman. It's Zack Snyder. I want to see how he handles that kind of action.
What's the guy playing Lex Luthor?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Social Network. Great actor. He always plays that sort of like nervous, intellectual guy. It's like, I'm Lex Luthor. No, I'm smart. I'm totally smart. Kind of guy.
The high anxiety guy at all times, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what he does. I really am. I'm excited about all of these movies. I'm just worried that we're striking a bad pattern with them.
I mean, yeah, we are going in a bad pattern, but the thing is, I mean, we both love superhero movies.
Yeah,
like,
we do. They're awesome.
Love them. You know, so the fact that you're putting out so many bad ones, I mean, if you have to continue to do that to give me one good superhero movie every now and again, because I mean, once every few months, I'm gonna go see a superhero movie.
Yeah, because they're fun.
They're fun.
They're supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Which is, I know we have 2 minutes left, but let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy for a little bit.
Yes.
Even if we go 3 minutes overboard.
Let's
talk Guardians of the Galaxy. Why did Guardians of the Galaxy work so well versus Ant-Man or versus Man of Steel? What was the difference between Guardians of the Galaxy and those movies?
Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt was the difference there. I mean, he carried that role like nobody else could. I mean, he shot out of a rocket and has become a star now.
He has.
You know, I wouldn't have seen that from Parks and Recreation to Lego Movie. I think we brought some of this up in episode 1 too, to Jurassic Park to this.
He's got a wide range of work.
He does,
and it's awesome.
Yeah,
but Guardians of the Galaxy works so well for me as a movie because not only was it funny.
It was, yeah.
The action was relatively well done. And these are characters that we know nothing about. Like normal people like you and I, consumers of superhero, have no idea what the fuck
I had no idea. Sure not.
So when Marvel decides we're going to make a Guardians of the Galaxy movies, now you're stuck with, okay, how do we make these characters interesting? And they did that very well. The pacing for these characters was really well. We learn about Chris Pratt's story. Rocket Raccoon's background, and they're all sort of put together in little sections of the movie. Okay, this is obviously Chris Pratt's section. It's obviously focusing on Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah.
But you don't care about that because you know that it's a team coming together. And that was the reason why Avengers worked so well.
It did.
It was a team coming together, and we were getting a universe built in front of our faces.
Now, are we going to see the same drop-off in Guardians 2 that we did in Avengers 2? Because we already have that universe and we already know who the characters are. I don't know how invested I was in I can't think of her name in Guardians of the Galaxy. She had the green. Yeah. I'm not that invested in her character at all.
Neither am I. She was kind of like romantic fodder.
Yeah.
She was cool. But
yeah, she was fun.
That's all she was. She was fine.
Yeah,
But I think that for Guardians of the Galaxy 2, because for Guardians of the Galaxy 1, we had a bland villain.
Yeah.
But the reason we had a bland villain was because we had infinitely more interesting characters.
Mm-hmm.
So we can forgive the bland villain, so we could focus on this guys.
Yeah.
So for the next movie, we now need a super interesting villain.
Mm-hmm.
Way more interesting than Lee Pace's character, because now we already have this guy's established.
Yeah.
So then, if we want to have a successful Guardians of the Galaxy movie too, I think the structure should be, all right, these guys are established. Now it's up to this guy to disrupt what they've established and see how they can keep it together.
It would be nice if they didn't kill that villain off at the end of this movie.
Exactly.
You know, don't just introduce a villain to me, you know, build him all the way up and then destroy him at the end, and then we got to repeat this cycle for the third movie.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's why I think Avengers 2 didn't work out. We had Hydra as the villain for the first one, which was infinitely more. It's a fucking organization.
Yes.
It's an organization that's hell-bent on, like, screwing the Avengers over.
Yeah.
And that was interesting. And then Avengers 2, we got one guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's funny.
Yeah.
He has gravity things on his hands.
It wasn't enough. It was not enough for me.
It really wasn't. I want something. I want superhero movies to, like, if you got characters that are interesting, you can make your villain a little bland.
Yeah.
But if your characters have been interesting for 2 movies, then it's time to make your villains more interesting.
I agree.
And I think that's where we're falling short.
Yeah.
That being said, we're 2 minutes overboard.
Yeah,
so
we
any
have
closing
gone.
thoughts?
We have gone over time. I have nothing except for looking forward to a Suicide Squad and Deadpool that we were saying. But we're gonna go ahead and go into our last segment and take a break.
All right, sweet. Note on that, we'll probably talk more about Deadpool in the next opening of the podcast.
Sure.
Which I think comes out after Deadpool releases.
It does.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, we'll be talking more about Deadpool later. Thank you for watching. We're gonna take another one of those breaks and come back to our last 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be doing premieres.
Sweet. All right. Cheers.
Looks good. All right, well, welcome back to For Film's Sake. This is going to be our last segment here. As always, we're going to be doing our premieres and what's coming up in the week in film and television. All right.
What's coming up?
So this, the February the 4th, Thursday, we have Madoff After the Fall. If you remember Bernie Madoff, he was famous for the Ponzi scheme back some years ago. So they're going to be doing a complete documentary style movie on that, February the 4th.
Where does it release?
CBS.
Okay.
On February the 5th, this Friday, Hannibal Buress, I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yeah, I love Hannibal.
Oh, yeah. Hannibal.
It's funny as shit.
He was...
Just some pickle juice on my sandwich.
Hannibal's hilarious. He his claim to fame, unfortunately, was the Bill Cosby joke that he really rose from that, pointing out that Bill Cosby is, in fact, a rapist.
Yeah. He was the first dude that said that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people were saying it before, you know, but he got on stage and said it, you know, so kudos to him for outing something like that. Yeah. That same day, February the 5th, Michael Jackson's Journey from Motown to Off the Wall is going to be coming out that same day. I'm the hugest Michael Jackson fan in the history of life, so I'm going to be watching that.
History of life.
In the history of life. Now, the thing is, like the same thing with Bill Cosby, like I have to look at artists differently now, you know, because at one point, I would listen to Michael Jackson and all the allegations were coming out. And I was like, no, Michael Jackson, I love Michael Jackson too much. He could never do something like that. Yeah. And if I were to believe that he was doing those things, then I wouldn't be able to listen to the music the same way.
But I feel like the product of an artist is independent of the artist.
That's where it is, exactly. Yeah. So as I got older, you know, I started realizing, like, you know, what if there are people that can change their personalities completely, like say Bill Cosby, you know, who's Cliff Huxtable on the Cosby Show.
That's fucking right.
Yeah, you know, but then outside of that, he's raping 30 to 50, 100 women, you know, over the time span of 30 to 40 years, you know. So do I have to give back every time I laughed at the Cosby Show?
No.
I can't give it back, you know. Yeah. I've watched it, I've digested it, and it's become a part of me now, you know. So, I mean, I can't give that back. So, I mean, it is independent of that artist. So, yeah, Michael Jackson Journey from Motown to Off the Wall.
What's Sorry, finish. What's that releasing on, and when is it coming out?
That one there's the same station as CBS, February the 5th, Friday.
Okay. All right. That comes out with Hannibal Buress' thing?
Hannibal Buress is going to be on Friday. That's going to be on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hannibal Buress thing Friday, February the 5th. It's called Hannibal Buress Comedy Commissado.
Okay, that's a stand-up special?
A stand-up special.
Sweet.
Now, he said he was going to name it. It was going to be Hannibal Burris' Twat Waffle. Not joking. Dead serious. Now, that was the original name of it, and he was like, I can't name it that. And, I have some relation to that word. So I was glad that he did change that name. February the 7th, this Sunday is Super Bowl 50.
Shit, that's right.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm 50 years of Super Bowl?
50 years of Super Bowls.
So much Super Bowl.
Super Bowl 50 is going to be the Carolina Panthers versus the Denver Broncos. Seeing that we live here in Charlotte, I thought it was notable enough to bring up. We're going to hope. I'm not even a Carolina Panthers fan.
Neither am I. I hope we win just for the sake of winning.
Exactly. I hope we win just for the city, because the city is going to go crazy this Sunday if we do win. All right, so that's February the 7th. I'm sure y'all be watching that.
If we don't win, there's going to be a whole bunch of, Panther shit on the city.
Yeah.
Just, you're going to walk around, it's going to be like The Walking Dead, but it's just banners, flags, and broken down T-shirts, and there's a kid crying in the corner.
Yeah. Broken dreams. Just terribleness. The next day, February the 8th, a show called Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. That's going to be on Comedy Central.
Yeah, that's, I know that lady.
I'm not sure.
I wasn't too into it when I first heard about it.
I'm not sure what she's done before. I've seen the commercials for it, so I'm gonna check it out. I always like to give 1 or 2 episodes and see what happens.
Yeah, that's good. Actually, there's a lot of comedy.
Yeah. I mean, I love comedy. So, let's see here. And February the 5th, let's go to movies. That's all for this week in premieres for television. As far as movies, we have February the 5th, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
Yeah.
Not gonna see it. But
I saw a review just before you came in here, and they said, "Listen, it's Pride and Prejudice with a sprinkling of zombies."
What the fuck does that mean? Pride and Prejudice with a sprinkle of zombies? I mean, you can say that about any movie ever made, and just but we sprinkle zombies over the top of it.
Yeah, what I mean is that it's Pride and Prejudice, so you're gonna get your love triangle, and you're gonna get your Jane Austen drama, but then you also get some zombies. That's what that is. So,
this is Dr. Seuss's Green Eggs and Ham with a sprinkle of zombies. I just don't get it. What's the concept of throwing zombies on something?
It feels like what I heard the guy say. This is not me. This is Jeremy Johns from YouTube. What I heard him say was that it's essentially just a Jane Austen drama, except that occasionally some zombies got decapitated. It was kind of like, do you know how The Walking Dead is like a character soap opera?
Yep.
With zombies.
Yeah, it's not focused on the zombies.
Exactly. It's kind of like that, but instead of doing that, The Walking Dead, it's just Pride and Prejudice.
Okay.
That's the premise behind it. I'm probably not gonna go see it, but I'll give it a go whenever it's available to me, really easily.
I mean, I might get a good laugh.
Yeah.
Ross. I mean, I may check it out. We'll see.
I've heard it's good. February 5th, we also have Hail Caesar.
Hail Caesar, exactly.
And the Coen Brothers.
Yep.
We talked about it in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. See, that opening date's February the 5th. Hail Caesar, the Coen Brothers. Looking forward to that. Heavy anticipation for it.
I saw, there's 2 trailers for that movie that I saw, and I was like, one of them was their whole rundown of the plot, usually how they do normal trailers. But then the second trailer was just Ralph Fiennes, who played, I think he played Voldemort in the Harry Potters.
Oh, I'm not sure.
No, he played, I think it was him. He was in the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Okay.
I think, with Scorsese. He's a great actor, and he's there. And the second trailer is just a scene with him and the younger lead, and just their dialogue, and it just works as a trailer. I don't know why. It's the stupidest trailer ever.
Nice.
And I don't know why it works. Hail Caesar, really funny movie. Go check it out. It's the Coen Brothers. Coen Brothers have been consistently good for 20 years.
I can't think of a bad Coen Brothers movie.
Now there's a few. But I can't think of them because the good ones are really good.
I mean, people didn't like Burn After Reading. It didn't turn up well in the theaters. But that's my favorite Coen Brothers movie. So.
Well, that doesn't mean that it's not a good. If it didn't do well in theaters, doesn't mean that it's not good.
It does not mean that.
It just means that it just didn't do good in theaters.
Or that the audience wasn't smart enough to understand what the hell was going on in the movie.
Sometimes that happens, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all for premieres in television and movies for this coming week. Go ahead and check it out at your own expense.
And then obviously Deadpool, a week after, in the 14th. 12th.
Oh yeah.
Go see Deadpool. It's fucking funny.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely be making announcements about that.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
Yes, our epic fail of the week.
Shit, what's our epic fail?
Epic fail of the week, and I'm guessing this is just going to be epic fail of the week, month, and my lifetime has been Fantastic Four, Fanforstic. I mean, that's my epic fail. We're talking about superheroes today,
Yeah.
and I was thinking of who failed this week in life, but to go along with the theme
Of superheroes,
I'm going with Fan Forstic.
Fan first. Yeah. It's such a frustrating movie because it was good. The first 40 minutes were good.
Yeah,
And then it was shit.
yeah.
And then it just wasn't. Like Doctor Doom, the whole shit with his body fusing to the suit is like, just let him. He was there for a year. Let him make the goddamn thing.
Yeah.
He'll figure it out.
Yeah.
He can melt shit with his brain. He'll fucking figure out how to make a goddamn metal suit.
Yeah.
I was angry about Doctor Doom,
Yeah.
as you can tell.
Yeah.
But then there was no build up to anything. There was no
none.
build up.
There was.
They
none.
fucking left him in the planet because they thought he was dead.
Yep.
And they came back and he just shows up and he's like, I knew you'd be back. And then he just starts blowing motherfuckers up.
Yes.
I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this? There's nothing. There's no emotional connection.
And it's so bad that because Doctor Doom is an amazing character. I mean, from
so
the comics,
fascinating.
he's amazing, and he's not getting his just due. But eventually it'll come around. But for now, they're receiving the epic fail of the lifetime for screwing my childhood up in the Fantastic Four.
And it's objectively, it's not a horrible movie. It's not
No.
horribly bad. It's not badly shot.
No.
It's not badly acted.
Nope.
It's not The Fucking Room with Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
You know? But,
Yeah.
but it's a frustrating movie, and I think that's why it deserves that. Because god damn it,
Yeah.
I really wanted to like it. I
did.
wanted to fucking like it.
I did.
Ah.
Anything else before we wrap it up?
No, just closing thoughts. Just I'm getting tired of superhero movies. I don't give a shit about them anymore.
Yep.
I'm still gonna watch them because I'm a slut for a good action movie.
Damn right. I
But-
feel on that.
I'm tired of superhero movies. Superhero television shows I'm into.
Yeah.
Give me more Jessica Jones. Just more Kilgrave. Kilgrave's dead now.
What's her name? Kristen
Oh,
Ritter,
Kristen
I
Ritter.
believe.
She's
Yes,
great.
give me more of that.
She's great.
She was in the show called Don't Trust the Bee
Bitch
in
Don't
Apartment
Trust the
43.
Bitch in Apartment 43.
Yes.
I watched a couple episodes, so that was really funny.
She was amazing in that. I loved her in that.
She's really good. Props to honestly, I want to give props to Melissa Rosenberg,
Who's that?
the writer for
For Jessica.
Jones.
Okay, yeah.
I want to give her props because she wrote female characters the way that you write male characters, and it works. Who the fuck would have thought?
Yeah, yeah.
And more people should learn from that.
That's what I'm really liking. That superhero movies are exploring that more than Hollywood writers in general.
Yeah.
You're writing for a character regardless of race or gender.
Yeah.
Just writing a good character with depth.
Like even Luke Cage. Luke Cage didn't feel like the black guy. In the
No,
movie.
he was
He felt
just-
like a dude in the movie.
He was a bartender that had a superpower and happened to be black.
Yeah, exactly. I want more of that writing, and I think that's why big Hollywood superhero movies are not doing it for me. Because everyone's just kind of like, oh yeah, I'm Captain America.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what do you do when you're not Captain America? Like, I want to know what you drink, what you masturbate to when you're like being sad and alone, being Captain America.
He jacks off to the History Channel. That's what he jacks off to. I mean, it's just terrible.
That's the shit I want to know about a superhero, and that's the shit that Daredevil and Jessica Jones gave me. They gave me the subtleties of the superhero that were human.
Yeah.
Like, Daredevil was just a dude. He got his ass kicked.
Yeah.
His ass fucking kicked.
Oh yeah.
And he felt real because of that. And Jessica Jones, she's broken, has PTSD, emotionally traumatized.
Yeah.
It's just give me more of that. Give me more substance for characters. That's all I want.
Well, it looks like we're on the way. We're on the right path at least.
Yeah, I think so too.
Right.
As far as what do you recommend for a watch?
Oh yeah. Let's see. I think I said Always Sunny. They're back. They're doing really well. Besides that, nothing off the top of my head that I could think of that's really, really, really good. The OJ thing, like I said, we're one episode into that, but that looks amazing. The cinematography, the writing, the actors.
Is that a dramatized version of what happened, or is it a dramatized documentary?
It's supposedly supposed to be exactly what happened, like not dramatizing. Well, to a point. There was one scene where OJ Simpson threatened to kill himself before the police were coming to get him. And he was there with Robert Kardashian, and he was threatening to shoot him, blow his brains out. In the show, it says it was in Kim Kardashian's room, but in reality, it was in Khloe's room. So I mean, it's small things like that, but it's supposed to step by step. Because I mean, the thing that rings so true for me is I was of age to understand that the things that were going on in the case. Like I got to see it step by step, and in my lifetime, that's the biggest case that has ever happened,
Yeah.
and one of the biggest injustices in our justice system.
Fucked up.
You know,
I think I'm gonna check that out. I think I
It's-
wanna know how they handle that because
it's really
it's a
good.
very touchy subject.
it is. You know, I mean, it was more than a murder of somebody. I mean, because at the time we're going through the Rodney King issue, you know, and then the black and the white separation thing. So then when it came time for the OJ trial, with him being married, him black man being married to a white woman, race came right back to it. You know, and Johnny Cochran ended up being his lawyer, and you'll have to watch it, but it's an amazing series.
I'll definitely check it out. My pick of the week for like a good movie would be In Bruges.
In Bruges.
Yeah, in Bruges. In Bruges. It's like a town in fucking Amsterdam.
I feel like I've heard of that. Who directed
Colin
that?
Farrell. I don't know who the director is, but it's with Colin Farrell. And I'll look it
In
up.
Burgess or something like that. I feel like I've heard of that.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
It's like dark comedy with Colin Farrell. I forgot. Let me look it up. I forgot the other guy. He's like the big blonde dude that's in a lot of like British movies. In Bruges with Marty McDonagh was the director.
Okay.
And it's Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, Ralph Fiennes, which is in Hell Caesar,
Okay. Yeah.
and a bunch of like weird small time actors. But that movie is really funny,
Yeah.
really fucking funny, really well shot, looks beautiful, and one of the best dark comedies that I've seen. It came out in 2008. I saw it in 2013. One of the best movies that I've seen in a long time.
Nice.
A lot of symbolism with like religion and redemption and all that shit, but still manages to be really funny. So that's my pick of the week. In Bruges, with Colin Farrell, directed by Marley McDonagh.
Nice.
So check that shit out.
All right, well, guys, next week we're gonna have our in commemoration of Black History Month, we're gonna have a full episode. Now, what the essence of Black History Month was to recognize the a large group of people that were essentially unrecognized. So what we want to do on this next episode, we're going to recognize the under-acknowledged. You know, so I mean, in television, film, you know, every aspect, that doesn't mean just black people, Asian people, or any particular group, you know, but the actual movie or television shows itself that are not being acknowledged for how good of a television or movie show it is.
We're going to dig into a little bit of the sort of more independent filmmakers for that episode.
Definitely so.
I've already got a couple of picks.
Nice.
But I'll talk to you about them after we stop recording.
All right.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks, guys. Late.
Cheers.